Hello, I'm Maura Carley, founder and president of Healthcare Navigation, and today I want to talk about changes that are going to occur with COVID tests, treatments, and vaccines. And there's two pieces of legislation at play here. One is the legislation that led to the COVID-19 public health emergency, and I think many people have read that is expiring on May 11th. And there was also another piece of legislation called Families First Coronavirus Response Act, and that will be leading to some of these waivers that were in place ending March 31st. And there's so many issues that are affected, and I'm not going to keep track for purposes of this video as to which have a March 31 end date and which have a May 11th end date. I'm going to say soon there will be changes. So let's go through them. I'm sure people have noticed that they haven't had cost sharing for COVID-19 tests during this era, but that is going to start again for Medicare and commercial insurance. There's an extension for people on Medicaid. They should not have any cost sharing through September 30, 2024. Similarly, for COVID-19 treatments like Paxlovid, cost sharing is going to begin again for people on Medicare and commercial insurance, but also will not apply to those on Medicaid through September 30, 2024. And the good news is that it appears that the vaccines for COVID will have no cost sharing, and refreshingly, that appears to be permanent. Because, it's so hard to keep track of these things that are in effect for a couple of years and have different end dates and all that. So you should check on your portal in April and May, what it says, and hopefully whoever provides your insurance is keeping up-to-date information on this. This will affect people with high deductible plans or who haven't met their deductible the most. And hopefully those people on high deductible plans have funded an HSA or have an HRA available to them. And I would say be mindful of network requirements. I mean, I ran afoul of this myself unintentionally, which, I realize I have, I think, 2 weeks left to appeal this, but in September, I was accompanying a relative to surgery, and the PCR test I was required to have by the hospital, I scheduled through an in-network provider. I wasn't home the day I had to have the test due to the hospital's timing. So the test was scheduled in California for a procedure that was going to occur the following Monday at a Chicago, Illinois hospital. And I got to the pharmacy and they said, well, the test we do involves sending your sample via Federal Express. And I said, well, that's not going to work for me. And I expected this to be fully covered at the time, and I ended up having to pay $280 out of pocket. And, it's $280. It's not the end of the world, but the website I used to book this test online didn't give me any forewarning. You know, I checked all the right boxes. A healthcare provider is requiring me to have this, and so on. Anyway, when I submitted the claim, it was initially denied altogether. Then I resubmitted it, and they processed it as out of network and paid the provider. So, you know, I'm grateful that they took me that afternoon. But, you know, they've been paid more than they should have, although they say they have no record of receiving the small additional payment from Cigna. But anyway, you know, $280 is $280, and I don't like to pay money that I don't think I should owe. So be very careful, because, you know, I'm pretty knowledgeable about these things. So for me to have an issue like this is embarrassing, but it was not my fault. Stay tuned. But just know that this area of COVID testing and COVID treatment is changing. And you will have more co-payments and so on to deal with. And, you know, if you're in your deductible period, you'll be on the hook for the whole thing. All right, take care. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye. Hello, it's Maura Carley again, adding a little addendum to the video I just taped, because I realized I didn't provide a good explanation of why I had to pay the $280 in the first place. So my appointment was at 2 p.m. with the in-network pharmacy. When I realized that their timing wouldn't work because I was supposed to have a test result on Monday at the hospital, they referred me to another pharmacy that made it very clear that they didn't participate with any insurance plans, and I would have to pay up front and submit. So that's how that happened, and I just didn't have time to fool around at that point. So that's what happened. All right. Thank you. Take care. Bye-bye.